And you talked about saying no earlier, right? Can you share a bit about what is the flip side, right? So all of this always being busy, a lot of energy, a lot of motivation. What is the flip side of this?
Yeah, a great question. So last year, I think I got burnt out last year, and I
Mm,
talked about it on LinkedIn at the time. So November time, I just felt exhausted. I didn't take very much holiday last year. The only time I actually went away was May last year for 4 or 5 days to New York. Now, New York is not a relaxing holiday, right? So I didn't feel that I had any real time to just chill out, because whenever I was taking any time off, I was still working. And I got to November, I looked exhausted, I felt exhausted. I had all these things in my diary where I was thinking, why did I say yes to that? I don't want to do that. It might have been a talk at an event that I didn't particularly want to do, and there was no link to the business or to the charity or anything, or just all sorts of things where I was really resenting having to turn up and do these things.
mm,
And like I say, I felt exhausted. So I think I was literally maybe just so close to actual burnout and just hitting that wall. So once I realized that, I decided to try and start saying no to as much stuff as possible. I booked a few holidays for this year. I've just come back from a retreat in Thailand, which was amazing. So I'm feeling quite chilled out at the moment. And my challenge was the year of no. I actually did a whole podcast episode on it, the year of no, and how I was going to say no to things. And I created a flow chart where if someone invited me to do something, it had to go through this flow chart as to whether I would say yes or no to it. However, there is a flip side, as you say. I think when you're progressing your career and you're starting out, whether it's a career or you're growing a business, I think you do have to say yes to things, because if you don't, you miss out on opportunities. So I think you say yes till you hit the point, not when you get to burn out like I did, but when you need to just change the balance of your time and what you focus on. And then you need to start saying no. And no isn't necessarily a hard no. It might be actually passing an opportunity to a member of your team or a colleague or a friend or whatever. But you've got to get that right, because if you just say
mm,
yes to things all the time when you're getting asked to do things literally every day, then you wouldn't be able to grow your business. So I think there's a balance to be had around yes, and then, okay, now it's time to say no. So I now feel really protective of the time that I have in my calendar.